Hey, so in the last few videos, I've been sharing with you the impressive value of Revio Video Maker. Now in this video, I want to share with you how it's easy to miss some of the excellent value, some of the cool templates inside of Revio Video Maker. And so in the previous video, I kind of did an overview, and another one I talked about the Fusion template. But in this one, what I want to share with you is how easy it is to kind of miss some of the awesome templates that are inside or scenes that are inside of a template. The one that I think is probably the easiest to kind of miss the impressive value is the universal template. So let's click on that one here, and I'm going to use this video. And notice it says duration 65 seconds. That I think is a little deceptive. And so here I'm just going to go up to this one. I'm going to call it Universal Demo. You can see I typed that in already. And it makes you feel like it's just these three texts and that's really all that you get out of the value here. I can click on a demo here to see it and everything. And it says duration 5 seconds. So it kind of deceives you into thinking this is all you get. But if you click on the add scene down here, you'll see that there's a bunch of scenes. Now this looks much better. It looks like, oh, well, here's 15 different scenes, but what if I go ahead and scroll down, you see that it's a lot more than that. It's actually over 130 different scenes that you can mix and match and create your own video with. So you can really kind of keep going here. You want to just make sure that you scroll down and don't miss this. I think that they ought to add one up here or something, because it's very easy to miss this down here. And so if I just click through these, I'll start to see some stuff like in these live action ones that you'll recognize if you went into the live action. But it is nice that they've included it in here so I can make it part of a longer, bigger theme kind of deal. And so as I'm kind of going through this, you see that there's a bunch of different types of things that I can construct my video with if I want to. And so the neat thing about all of these is, as I've showed you in other videos, I can just click on this little plus button here and it's going to add it to my scene, and that I can go back and edit later. So I'm just going to kind of randomly click on a few of these here and we'll take a look at that. So let's take this one, and I'm really not knocking myself out here. I'm just kind of randomly clicking on a few of them. Just so that you can get the idea. But you see here, this appears to be some sort of transition. Of course, I can preview it, get some idea. There you go. And so I wasn't quite right. It's sort of a transition, but it's just an animation of ending for your images. And obviously, you're going to be able to replace those images. And then let me just kind of do something from this last scene here. So in theory, I've got whatever I wanted for my actual video, and you can see here down here that I have the scenes. And what's kind of nice is in these, and they've given some icons that give you a little bit of an idea of what you're getting, so that especially as you get familiar with them, you can know what that is. And so in any one of them, I have my different text here. I can see the demo, of course, of the animation, and go forth. And as we've kind of talked about before, in the first video, I can hide this. I don't, if I don't want text on a certain place, I can just go ahead and hide it, and just click on that X button there. I'm sorry, this off button, and it does have a limit. It tells you, so you do have to be kind of creative on some of them in order to kind of get it to work. You're not going to select a font, but you can select a color, and so forth. But you can, as you go through these, you can go in and you'll see that you can add your photos. I talked about all of this kind of in the first video, so I don't want to go over it again. But you can see here that what's really neat is you can really kind of make a video. 130 templates is really cool. Now I want to go back here and point out, kind of like the Fusion template, if I've rendered a video, I can use any video clip in this one, just so it's just showing just a video. That's pretty cool. And what that means is, if I've gone into I've created some video, I've got some already created in my videos here. By the way, someone pointed out in the Fusion template that I should have rendered out my demo, and I will do that in another video. Probably one of the last videos, I'll render out some more, just to kind of show some of this a little bit, some results here. But you see, I've saved these two here, and it's red, and it says it's saved. So what I can do is I can go into that template and I can put that video into the universal template. meaning that pretty much any video, I mean, not pretty much, any video that I've created with the other templates can essentially go into the universal template and be a part of a bigger video. So kind of like the Fusion template, you have in the universal template the ability to take anything that you've created in Revio Video Maker and work it in with a longer video created with this universal template. Now, before I finish this video, I want to point out that there's a lot of actual templates that are kind of like that you can easily miss the value. Here's another one. In the whiteboard video, it looks like there's only a few, but let's go in here and use this one. And as I mentioned, I think in the first video, when I was talking about an overview of Revio Video Maker, I can go in here and once again, you know, it looks like there's only a few things here. It's a little deceptive because if I go in to this and be sure to scroll down, not only do I have more than it appears, it looks like I have something like a dozen. Again, the ability to use my own video in here, which is great. But if I scroll down, you can see that I actually have a lot more than that first 20 templates. There's 40 now, and this, I'm not sure, 42. So there's 42 templates overall. So there's much more here to create a nice little whiteboard video with than it appears when you first go into this template. So don't miss that. There's a lot of templates like that. There's the explainer videos are very similar to that. If you go in to some of these explainer videos, you may think, you know, gosh, there's only 2 explainer videos. That's not very impressive. Well, if you come into here and you click on it, once again, I'm going to go ahead and give it a name. Once it comes up, I'll just go ahead with what it is. And you can see here there's more, but I want to be sure and scroll down and see that there's a lot more than, you know, I think in my first video I said there was 14 because I made the mistake of not scrolling down and seeing that there's actually a lot of scenes in here. And there's a lot of video potential. Once again, as I talked about in the universal template, I have the ability to interject any video that I've created with any of the other templates. So this really makes this much more, you know, I said before in the very first video that the number of scenes that are within these templates, and there's about 250 that you see kind of in the front end, if you will, and that is pretty much if I go to any category and I click on, you know, there's only 2, there's 2 and there's 3 here, but if I go to motion titles, for example, there's a bunch here, and what I mean is if I just count those in these main categories, it looks like there's something in the neighborhood of 200 to 250. But once again, if I dive into some of these scenes, as we looked at, like this one we looked at in the first video, there's a lot more. So I said it was comparable before, but now it's pretty clear that it's beyond comparable. In other words, you know, I said for $511 on my videos deal, if I continue to pay, which I'm very strongly considering not because of Revio Video Maker here, to be honest. But for $511, I had 500-ish templates and videos. But I think that, you know, if you count all the scenes, which is fair, in Revio Video Maker, it looks like it's far more than 500. I'm not going to bother to count, but I think I just showed you pretty clearly why that would be the case. If there's 250-ish scenes here, and a couple of them have upwards of 120 scenes inside of them, of course, some are drawing from some of these, as I pointed out, but some of them aren't. Like in the explainer video and the whiteboard video, though, they're not drawing from anything else. And the ability to take in any video that I've made and interject it with any of these other templates or many of these other templates, it really just makes for a ton of video options. So really impressed with Revio Video Maker. My coupon expires this next Friday, so you'll want to take advantage of that. I think, let's look at the calendar here. As I'm making this video here, apologize, don't seem to be able to type the word calendar. So September 1st, I had forgotten what date it is. We've been a little distracted by things like Harvey. But anyways, so there's a lot of value here, really impressive. I just wanted to share with you, don't want you to miss the depth of the value here in Revio Video Maker. If you've gotten this, hopefully, I've helped you to not miss that. But definitely impressive what they've pulled together here with Revio Video Maker. And I'll do at least one more video, maybe two, kind of making sure that you can just extract all the value and see all the cool stuff in Revio Video Maker.